Today I will discuss of the Indian agriculture of the Indian context. What is the problem of the farmers and which will be amendment of the bill of the Constitution Assembly and the pass of the Parliament MSP also and the farmer rules the protections. So let I talk about of the quick revision of these types Indian agriculture. Then you have relevant for the mains as well as prelims because the agriculture is the also like a mains as the prelims part of the 10 question of the and like of the out of 100 question you have find out the 5 question of the field of agriculture. There is your agriculture source and then you have realized the source of the mains as well as your prelims. So you have realized the GS papers 3 economics. You have the section is the agriculture mentions the GS syllabus of the topic agriculture sectors. So you have purchased. I will discuss the silent features of the Indian agriculture. What are the silent features? What is the agriculture and the contribution of the second largest of the after service sectors? There is the dependency of the people like a 50 and the 65 like a 75% post independent and independent of the agriculture field of the dependency of the 50 like a 70% peoples in the agriculture field. Then the contribution of the GDP only I have not and the sums maximum this is the 30 or 33% of the GDP. Then you have realized the decline of the GDP in today context like 2022 and the COVID-19 also the affected of the Indian economics and the GDP. Then the positive growth rate of the only for the agriculture sectors, not the other sectors. So then you have realized the agriculture can be contribution of the positive rate. So I would next to introduce how to agriculture can be good relevant for Indian society and Indian culture. That then you have realized the first chapter you have this high percentage of the reporting area under the cultivation because the India is the land holding is the maximum. Then the subsistence of the agriculture and the pursue group the like NGO and the subsidiary alliance the particular population of agriculture. The seasonal pattern of the rabi because there is the three types of the crop and the first is rabi, the kharif and zaid. Then the dependency of monsoon because the silent feature. What are the features the Indian agriculture? The first is the high percentage of the age to the cultivation maximum population dependency of the agriculture. Then the because dependency of the monsoon sector. Then the pre-monsoon of the fruit crops and then here the crop goods and as well as you have realized maximum good crops and others crop they can be the cultivate like a jayat fasal that to its own way you have realized seasonal pattern. This pattern can be the and the dependency of monsoon and then move on the other sectors. The problem what is the problem क्या है Indian in this you have first a significance. What is the significance? Because the dependency of the higher population in the dependent of the agriculture field. Then the other sector, what is the problem? You have much the significant, you have realized what is the relevant for agriculture. Then what is the problem? Because you have your answer can be balanced, not on the positive side, not on negative side. Then you have balanced your answer sheet and the well managed the examination because you have lot of read and your mind. Then you have the presentations on the written form, then you have realized, because the examiner can be not defined who you are, the genius person in the world. You have the only through your copy is the must. You have the examiner seen this your copy, then given a marks, such as the marks then can be the find out of the your preparation, like you have selected this examination, not you have PhD holder, not you have a net JRF qualified person and IITN, and also maybe other section doctors and the engineers. Do have not the problems of the land fermentation degradation of employment, because the need of the job, because the maximum people can be dependent less of the lack of the crop, because there is the people can be not educated on the agriculture field, then he have the not know how to grow the crops, can be the suitable soil health card the government can be given, and this is the low productivity of the fair to the land reform, because the productivity to that is the not a mentions of the, because you have the also the pesticide and the urea and the pesticide like DAP you have used, and then the further the soil decline, because there is the KNP, because nitrogen, phosphorus and the potassium you have available in this field, because the maximum role of the nitrogen you have the, then you have plown your land, then you have realized the low use of the mixture of the fertilizer of the wild shell. I have mentioned this other section, lack of the irrigation and the mechanism, because there is the proper not irrigation like a drip irrigation, ferric irrigations you have realized, and then here's the cultivation. What is the Israel is the most agriculture fit, because there is the not biggest land hold, because then you have the move on the vertical farming. You have realized the vertical farming, the absence of the agriculture marketing stores faculty, because India is the not absence of the stores of the like the government role can be they can give in our storage, because you have collected lot of the potato and tomato also, then you have store onions, and then they have realized the influences is the high the potato and the potassium, then you have realized the storage and then the need of the people then supply it overall India. That is the no situation, because the maximum the cell holder they can be the capture, and then the high inflation in this field India, and then he have the our uh, given. Then land use of the category, what is the land use category you have realized? Land use category, land use category is the maintain land revenue record. You have the also know your Lekpals is the own billers in this the fellow of the current fellow for 100 to 1 into between, and net zone area is the land is which is the crop zone, because you have like 10 acres your per land, and then you have the sown only 2 acres per land, because the other is the forest and the barren land also, then you have not sown as the crop field there, that is the land use has changed, because 2000 the forest and the percentage of the presentations you have the sharing of the land in the 2019 to 50 and 2015, then you have the forest, because the forest has increasing and the decreasing also, that there 70% of the forest and then the increasing you have realized, and the area under the non-agriculture and the use, because this cause of the barren land 3% of in 2019 15, and then more on the fifth, and then the barren and the unfavorable best land is now the pharmaceutical under the trial you have realized this types at the situation in this country, then person follow other than current, follow the current failure net area the zone, Maximum, this is the land, then I have shown on the soil, this is the 18% the source. You have realized 2019 this area, because the decreasing, you have realized the decreasing, some area have the forest cover is the 70% into 1991 and 1951. Then you have realized to 2015 the between the gap into in the 15 like a 16 years. Then you have the increasing, some of the increasing and decreasing also, that is the you have realized, you have forget, because the UPSC does these types of the question can be also asked. So you have realized that. So an agriculture field method, sorry, I have the my cursor can be moved out, the follow other made their and the observation, the trend क्या है, the rate of the increasing high case of the under the non agriculture, and then you have the agriculture increasing the aspect of the veteran agriculture sector. रीजन्स क्या हैं, व्हाट इज द ट्रेंड तो हमने देख लिया, हाई केसेस अंडर द नॉन एग्रीकल्चर पे ड्यू टू द चेंजिंग ऑफ द स्ट्रक्चर इंडियन इकोनॉमिक, आल्सो आई कैन द क्लाइमेट चेंज इन द आल्सो and trend, then increasing of the under the sharing the forest, and the regions क्या हैं, you have read down, I have given a PDF from this type. The upcropping seasons क्या हैं, you have also maximum question can be asked these UPSC these times. Your crops, the crops of the three types, your Rabi, Kharif and the Jayad, you have on trick and the monimic you have realized and the relevant, because these topics can be the also prelims as well as mains. Prelims to also ask the one question, the cropping seasons क्या हैं, the Kharif June to September, the like one topic, the Kharif can be the cropping of the June to September, and the rice is the what is the northern state and the southern state. You have the major crop cultivation. I have drawn on map India, your northern and the southern state. I have divided into two parts, rice, cotton and bajra, maize, jowar and tur. And then southern state your यहाँ पे rice, jowar, bajra and the rice, maize, ragi and the groundnut, jowar. Groundnut maximum गुजरात में होता है. Then rabi to October to March. Then wheat, gram, rapeseed, mustard, barley, and the rice, maize, and ragi, groundnut, and jowar. Then you have Jayad is the April to June, and the vegetable, fruit, and the fodder, and the rice and the vegetable of the fodder. Then you have realized move on the other topic like a major crops, because there is the what is the shown of the types of the rice is the what is the इसका रेनफॉल एंड कितना मैक्सिमम होना चाहिए, ह्यूमिडिटी कितनी होनी चाहिए, बिकॉज द क्रॉप कैन बी द कल्टिवेशन एंड द ग्रोइंग टू द particular thing of the climate in the requirement of the grown of the climate. Then you have realized rainfall and then humidity कितनी होनी चाहिए and temperature कितना होना should be, temperature must be, that the crop of the like rice. And then major crops you have area and the cultivation, because you have no the cultivation, because the high rainfall rice is the also the tropical and subtropical, and the plant and the required to the high temperature like a 20-25 degree. You have mentioned 25-degree, because the UPSC prelims also ask the rice cultivation can be the temperature also in the 25 degree centigrade. Yes. Then rainfall more than 100 centimeter, rainfall 100 centimeter, also at the soil can be clay and alluvial soil honi chahiye, that is the also mentioned. And the area of the recommendment like a West Bengal, Punjab, Uttar Pradesh, Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu. You have the shown the map, this is the area of the West Bengal, Punjab and Tamil Nadu, Uttar Pradesh also. These areas is the higher major areas is the cultivation of the rice, because the temperature requirement and the rainfall requirement you have lot of experience. Then you have realized how many the crop cultivation. Then move on the other section, like you have finished the crop of the like rice. Then move on the wheat. Wheat is the wheat crop, and wheat is the what is the temperature. You should be understand what is the temperature and the rainfall, humidity कितनी होनी चाहिए, soil क्या है, and the this is the tropical, like you have found in the soil, like your crops like a wheat. Then the temperature should be the crop is the temperate zone. This is the temperate zone, because the winter temperature should be the 10 to 15 degree centigrade. Then the summer temperature, because the summer and winter also mention, then you have realized your summer session and the winter session. Summer must be the 25 to 26 degree centigrade, and then winter you have come to the 10 to and the 55 centigrade. Then you have required rainfall, and is the rise is the your 100 degrees 100 centimeter. Then you have realized in the wheat cultivation you have the 15 to 75 centimeter. Then soil and the clay and the loam of the texture होनी चाहिए. Then the what is the area is the cultivators, like UP, Punjab, Haryana, Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh. You have monic UPHRM. Then you have realized mnemonic बनाना ही पड़ेगा. Then must be you have realized. Then you have the mains examination you have shown this high. This type of the beet cultivation is the maximum. Then move up the other sections. You have realized your आ गया pulses, because the pulses maximum I have pulses I broad I have export of the maximum pulse, because the maximum pulses your Madhya Pradesh is the producers of the high level of the pulses. And then pulses climate क्या चाहिए, condition, area cultivation क्या चाहिए, crops, the pulse, that is the leading producers of the pulses is the 1/5 of the total production of the pulses. India is the fifth high, then other country. And the temperature should be the temperature you should be the 20 to 75 degree centigrade. Then rainfall your 20 to 60 centimeter होनी चाहिए. Then soil sandy and loam होनी चाहिए. Then sandy and loam moist, and then dry deciduous dry land and the Deccan Plateau, the Central Plateau, Northern Hemisphere, and the country, western part of the country. Then you have realized first is the Deccan Plateau. You have known this is the Deccan Plateau, and then the Central Plateau. This is the central, because the maximum zone of the central. Then the northwestern part of the country, northwestern. Then I have realized. When then I have finished this, then you have the also screenshot, and then you have finished a good like a pulses. And then you have mentioned the pulses like Uttar Pradesh. You have believed that, and the first position goes to the MP, that is, and the second position goes to the Maharashtra, and the third position goes to the your Rajasthan. And the million ton दिया है, the area is the million hectare, and the producers million ton, and the yielding of the kg per capita. Then you have realized you have learned top 3 state, other no. Then move on the your pulses, and then move on the your crops like a oil seed. Oil seed, you know, the first your groundnut, then others your mustard, and others soybean also. Then you have the crops हो गया. The temperature should be the 15 to 30 degree centigrade, and the rainfall in 30 to 50 centimeters, and the soils like a loam and the clavy loam. And the this is the also you have mentioned area of where is the found of this dry and the marginal areas, dry and the Malwa plateau. You have know that is the Malwa Maharashtra region, that is the Maharashtra region. Then other you have Gujarat, because the Gujarat is the maximum oil seed के लिए ground nut के लिए जाना जाता है. राजस्थान mustard के लिए तेलंगाना, and the Royal Sea Orange, Andhra Pradesh, and the Karnataka plateau. This is the first. You have no top three country state. First your Madhya Pradesh, the second your Gujarat, second your Rajasthan, the third is your Andhra Pradesh, and the percentage given, and the third fourth is the, because the ground net production is the Gujarat is the first, एंड द मस्टर्ड में आपका राजस्थान फर्स्ट स्टेट आ जाता है. देन यू हैव रियलाइज योर सोयाबीन में आपका ये आ जाता है मध्य प्रदेश इज द फर्स्ट प्रेमल दैट इज द मैक्सिमम produces of the oil seed. Then move on the other section. You have realized the UPSC can be given the oil seed, and then temperature should be requirement 18 degree, and rainfall soil can be not mentioned. Then move on the other sections. You have finished your. Then cotton, you have most important most important cotton is the and the cultivation area. First you know the tropical crop grown and the kharif season of the semi arid area the country contribution. You have no temperature, it should be the rainfall, and it the well drained and the loam regular soil. Then first you have known the port of the Haryana and the northern western the Gujarat, Maharashtra, and the plateau of Andhra Pradesh, and then Karnataka. You have these seen of the map. The cotton production maximum these areas. Cotton. Maharashtra, Karnataka, and Gujarat, just thoda Punjab, and then soil. Then move on the other section. The cotton is the most important. You have the like a jute your West Bengal चला जाएगा. Jute is the other. You have important. The temperature should be the 27 to 25 the rainfall and maximum, because the jute is the 25 to 35 degree. Well drained and alluvial soil. Alluvial soil the region of the Ganga and Yamuna, Brahmaputra rivers, and the Yamuna also. There is the West Bengal and the about of the fourth production of the country Bihar and Assam. Fourth and three production of the country. And then you have also, because the UPSC can be asked, then you have shown these types of map and the jute also. Then move on the other. You have realized the tea is the also component, and the grown under and the tropical hill areas. These types of the hill areas you have realized. And the well drained and the soil humidity is the subhumidity topic are because the humidity is the must be requirement of this the tea crop plantations. And then the temperature should be the 20 to 30 degree centigrade. Rainfall and then maximum, because there is the tea, and and the soil is the drain and the light loamy soil होना चाहिए. That is the Brahmaputra Valley of Assam. Then is this of the river Brahmaputra and the Assam, the sub-Himalayan regions of the West Bengal of the Darjeeling, Lampula, Cochin, and the Bihar district. You have realized subtropical, sub-Himalayan. This is the sub-Himalayan regions. And the Darjeeling, these types, Assam, and the Kondla, Himachal Pradesh. The lower known as the Nilgiri, Cardamom Hills, Cardamom, and the you have realized the Western Ghats and the Eastern Ghats. These are the Cardamom Hills, these times, and the Western Ghat. These, आपका this the Western Ghat, and also part of Tamil Nadu. These are the Western Ghat. And Nilgiri, this is the Nilgiri. The Western and Eastern Ghat then can be meet each other, then called of the point of the Nilgiri and the Western Ghat. Yes, should be the clear, and the tea like a tea. Then other move of the crop of the sugar cane. Sugar cane is the most important, because the today is the news the overtake of the Maharashtra in the Uttar Pradesh, because Uttar Pradesh maximum production of the sugar cane industry. Then move on the. Then you have realized what is the relevant of the sugar cane industry in the other, like I would realize first country in the world, first in the world the production and the consumption also the first, and then the sugar cane. Then the crop and the tropical areas and the under rain conduct, it is the cultivation sub humidity and humidity climate. because there is the humid climate, that the forest areas and the rainforest, this is the types. And the because there is the western Ghat part, then the rainfall is the lowest, and the humidity also that is the Garo Khansi Jaintia, then is the humidity part. टेम्परेचर आपका 21 to 27 part of the rainfall and 75 to the 100 degree, and the soil must be well drained and the alluvial black, red and the brown regur soil. Then the cultivation area, indigo indo Indo and Gangetic Plain, and the cultivation largely contribution of Uttar Pradesh, and the two-fifth of the India. This is the Indian Gangetic region. Then the western part of Maharashtra and Gujarat, there is the Gujarat and the Maharashtra part, and the southern is the Karnataka and Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, that is the Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh. Then you have realized, then move on the other section, you have the sugarcane, then screenshot you have realized as well as you screen. Then move on the other crop like your coffee is the coffee and other the climate conditions must be the cultivation of the highly land of the western Ghat and the Karnataka, Kerala, Tamil Nadu. Then you have realized the tropical planted crop, and this is the temperature it should be in a rainfall in 800 degree soil, well drained alluvium soil. Because the well drained you have mentioned, because the maximum coffee is the productions they have realized, and the bed drain the humidity must be lowest, higher in this class. You have realized the part in the cultivation is the coffee, it is the Karnataka and the Kerala and Tamil Nadu, this part of the cultivation. Rain should be, and soil and temperature you have must be learned. Then move on the other sections like jowar, tur, is sections. Further, the other sections like a crop and the climate condition must be known. Soil requirement area of the cultivation ज्वार बाजरा maize ragi ram. So you have realized itne temperature match me the clevery and regular Maharashtra Karnataka you have I have gone through, you have read down, then screenshot you have realized. Then other move through the groundnut, what is the required temperatures and the rapid and the some sunflower, soybean, this side coconut, rubber. Then you have realized a green revolution. Green revolution is the field of then no more crop in the Atal Bihari Vajpayee, and also our prime minister then have the given one day 7 week 1 day you have fast. Then the green revolution can be start, and the mid 1966 it is the introduced the packing technology to the high yielding wheats. High yielding variety of the wheat can be cultivation and the mixtures of the soil wheats. Then the chemical fertilizer irrigation, Punjab and Haryana and Uttar Pradesh is the most the component of the green revolution. High yielding variety seeds say irrigation tropic because and the use of fertilizers and the pesticide insects the common they hand the pesticide that can be injected in the crops, and then the grown of the and the consolidated land holding and the land reform and the agriculture market mechanism and the rural electrifications. The impact of the green revolution increasing of the agriculture productions, because you have green the high yielding breed variety, then reduce of the impact on the fodder gain different rise of the technology beat in the news. Then you have realized maximum the farmer producers and the industrial growth of the rural employment and the chemical attitude, and the demerits what is the merits and demerits in this revolution of the green revolution. The intercrop involved the only the circulars of these types of the intercrop and involving there is the benefit for the green revolution. Regional distribution, increase entrepreneurship, and that is about of the capacity of the high yielding variety seeds, then introduce and the employment pollution. ICAR, the Indian Council Agriculture Research Authority, Department of the Agriculture Research Education, and the Ministry of Agriculture of the government. This is the also need you have the Google and search through what is the relevant on the agriculture field. You have realized mandated for the crops and the cultivation. You have should be also realize this is the mandated crop and the plan under the contribution to research of the technology development of agriculture aid to improve the agriculture education and the quality of human resource development. HDFC development, there is a requirement for adaptation. You have given this is the PDF given and you then you have realized. Thank you for watching and meet again next video. This is the your agriculture can be finished. Lot of question asked in the mains and the preliminary examination. You have seen understand. Thank you for watching this video. Okay, next meet again next video. That's okay.